Absolutely. Stay with us, Pragati. We have more news coming in. The US Navy has now launched fighter jets as its blockade on Iran continues to tighten. CENTCOM in a statement said that American forces have now redirected 71 commercial vessels, boarding 2 for compliance checks and disabling 3 that failed to fall in line with blockade directives. In support of the operation, FA-18E Super Hornets are launching now from USS George Washington as US forces continue to enforce pressure on Tehran in the Strait of Hormuz region. So, of course, Pragati, currently USS George Washington is deployed in the Arabian Sea, launching these fighter jets to dismantle several of the Iranian facilities.
US is tightening its naval blockade against Iran, and the latest move brings US carriers-based fighter aircraft directly into the operation. And the US Central Command says that American forces have now redirected 71 commercial vessels, boarded 2 and disabled 3 vessels while enforcing the blockade. And these figures are part of CENTCOM's continuing update on maritime enforcement around Iran. And the latest development is the development of the USS George Washington, a US Navy Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, which has which has arrived in the Middle East and is now operating in that very region. The carrier is replacing the U.S. Abraham Lincoln, which has spent months supporting U.S. opposition against Iran. The George Washington brings its carrier air wing into the theater, including FA-18ES Super Hornets. And this is, these fighter jets are not being deployed simply for a show of force. The Super Hornet is a multi-role combat aircraft capable of air-to-air and air-to-surface missions. And during the blockade, U.S. forces have already used carrier-based Super Hornet to enforce compliance against vessels. And in one previously reported incident, the Super Hornet fired its 20-millimeter cannon at a vessel after repeated warnings were ignored. Disabling its radar after forcing the ship to stop heading towards Iran. And the current operation is combining warship, carrier aviation, and maritime surveillance to enforce Washington's restrictions on commercial traffic connected with Iran. And CENTCOM's figure refers to vessels that U.S. forces were, were directed, boarded, or disabled for some time. They do not mean that 71 ships have been seized. Most of the vessels were redirected after
Absolutely, Pragati. In fact, stay with us. We have more news coming in. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu